Hi, Miss Bennett. So I just wanted to present to you my text set project. So I chose to do my text set project on citizenship. So the first genre that I chose is nonfiction, and my book is What is Citizenship by Jennifer Boothroyd. Then my second book was fiction, more so realistic fiction, by Pat Moore, Libby Martinez, and that book was I Pledge Allegiance. And then for my third text, I chose to incorporate a song by Red Grammar, and that song is Citizenship, and it is just about how to be a good citizen, what citizenship is, and it kind of includes and provides terminology that would be underneath the citizenship category. So there is my text set table. So the first book, it discusses what a citizen is and can do and what it means to be a citizen. The second book is the fiction book. It provides a story about a young girl's grandmother who is from Mexico. She's an immigrant, and that word immigrant is brought up in the first book that we do, which is What is Citizenship, and the grandmother is wanting to become a U.S. citizen. So the first book, which is our anchor text, is What is Citizenship, and that book includes a bunch of different terminology, and I will pull that up for you as well. Every lesson plan, but lesson 1 is coming up. So that terminology in key vocabulary is citizenship, community, characteristics, participate, rights, immigrants, public, and main purpose. So the good thing about that book is it includes all of that. So what happens is we use that first book in my first lesson, and then we move into the citizenship song for the second lesson, and that goes over more terminology. And then for the third book, we talk about I Pledge Allegiance, which is the book about the grandmother, and it includes all of basically that terminology and all the concepts that we've talked about in lesson 1 and 2. So that's why I chose to do that book last, is it includes a scenario for students to connect all of their knowledge about what they've learned about citizenship, to connect everything that they've learned to that book. And that book just kind of shows them what it means for someone to become a citizen and why they would want to become a citizen and how lucky we are to be citizens. So those are the texts that I chose to incorporate. So I was just going to do a real quick overview for you and show you that I used the Teaching Books resource site, and I created me a list, and the book I chose is I Pledge Allegiance book. So there's that book right there. And then the anchor text is What is Citizenship? It's just a good informative text. And then the song that I chose is What is Citizenship. It talks about what citizenship is, and I will play it for you real quick. Okay, here is the song. I'm hoping that maybe it will play and you'll be able to hear it.
Citizen of your community, your country, and your world. Be a citizen, serve humanity. That's the job of everybody, man or woman, boy or girl.
So there's the beginning of that song, and then let's just say we go halfway through.
Be a citizen, be a citizen. That's the job of everybody, man or woman, boy or girl. Citizens obey the law.
Citizens get involved. Citizens stay informed.
Citizens get problem solved.
So there is that little bit of the song. Alright, so I have shown you the 3 texts that I was using. What is Citizenship for our anchor text in the first lesson, and then the second lesson using the Red Grammar song, What is Citizenship? And then in the third lesson, we used the text, I Pledge Allegiance. So now what I want to show you is my lesson plan, and I will kind of walk through the lesson plan with you to kind of show you everything that I included in it and kind of reiterate what I've stated in my analysis paper. So the standard that I used for lesson 1, and my concentration was 2nd grade, and our content area is social studies. So I went through the NCDPI standards that deal with social studies, and I chose the standard exemplify characters of good citizenship through historical figures and everyday citizens. And then the next one being explain why it's important for citizens to participate in their community. And then I went and found a literacy objective for each lesson. So this lesson, it is identify the author's main purpose of a text, including what the author wants to answer, explain, or describe. So our central focus for the whole segment, all 3 of the lessons, is citizenship, what a citizen is, what citizenship is, and why we should be a good citizen. And the literacy focus for this lesson is identifying the author's main purpose. The language function, the student will be able to explain what a citizen is, list the characteristics of citizenship, and state and describe the author's main purpose. The 3 tasks that I use in this lesson is they will write a sentence stating the author's purpose, they will state what a citizen is through a semantic map, and then they will form a short paragraph stating what a citizen or what citizenship is. And then they will use the vocabulary that is included and seen in that book to do all of that. And they will be engaged by having discussions with their partners, putting their answers up on a semantic map, and writing a sentence down about the author's purpose. This will deepen their learning by providing activities where the students can use what they have learned about citizenship so far, and I will deepen their learning by incorporating author's purpose of text and what his or her purpose was of the text. So I will teach about what author's purpose is, and then the students will be responsible for listening to me read and finding why they think the author wanted us to know what they have presented. Their prior knowledge from looking at the standards, they should understand what government is and their purpose, and identify the main topic of a multi-paragraph text. Because for the assessment, I will provide an opportunity for the students to write 2 sentences describing what citizenship is, why they are a citizen, and why the author chose to tell us what he or she did about citizenship. This will be their exit ticket before they would go to centers. So the identifying the main topic of a multi-paragraph kind of goes in with the author's purpose. They should be able to listen to everything that has been stated in the book, whether it be in paragraphs, and understand how to identify a topic. The feedback I will be giving to the students will be after they have turned in their exit ticket. So how I've been doing it is basically in each lesson, except for one, I give the exit ticket or the assessment, and then I provide them feedback. So they will turn in their exit ticket, and when they do, I will read over what they have wrote and provide feedback on their answer. So if I were to do this, I would hope that they would give me their exit ticket, and then we would have a discussion. They will then go and do a chalk talk activity, so everyone will be quiet throughout this whole process. They will be working independently using everything that we have talked about. They will go from listening to the feedback I'm giving them on their answers, and go back to their desk and take one important thing from what they wrote. And I'll kind of help them identify that through our feedback. They will go and write one important thing about citizenship and what they've learned today on that board. The semantic map will be done through think, pair, share. They will think with their think independently, and then pair with a partner and decide what should go on that semantic map, and then they will share, and we will put that on the semantic map. There's right here all of I've kind of done an overview of the lesson. So that's for the first lesson. I'm going to quickly go over the second one with you. It will pop up. Okay, here's my second lesson. I know that I am running close to time, but for this one I did exemplify characteristics of good citizenship through looking at historical figures and everyday citizens, explain why it's important for citizens to participate in their community, and the literacy is describe how words and phrases supply rhythm, meaning through a story, poem, or song. The central focus again being what a citizen is, what citizenship is, and why we should be good citizens. The essential literacy focus being how words and phrases with rhythm can provide meaning. So they'll be listening to the song Citizenship by Red Grammer and listening to how he rhymes and those words that rhyme and what their meaning is and what his purpose through doing this is. The task, they will write a short story using the vocabulary taught and heard in the song. So we'll identify the vocabulary after we've listened to the song. They will be responsible for listening to the song and identifying keywords. Then we will talk about those keywords and add them to a word wall. The students will identify citizenship, with good citizenship, through a series of scenarios that I would present. I would present different situations of someone helping a neighbor or someone wanting to go be a U.S. citizen, just different things like that, and them identifying what good citizenship is or what being a citizen is through what they've learned. And then I will help them figure out important parts of citizenship through them providing me with words and us seeing they would provide important words of what they think citizenship is and what they've learned about citizenship. Then we would combine those and put them into Worded Out, which would form a word cloud, presenting the biggest words that popped up, and then we would talk about why those words were most important to them. For their discourse and syntax, they will write a short story about someone representing good citizenship, and they will be able to verbally recognize words that present what they think is most important about citizenship through the use of a word cloud. I won't go through all of that, but I wanted to tell you what my exit ticket is for this one. The exit ticket so for this, the exit ticket or kind of informal assessment would be them writing the short story. And they will provide the short story and give that to me when they have finished it, and then I will write comments back, and I will be including changes that they would maybe want to incorporate with their writing, misconceptions that the students may have about citizenship, what it is, what good citizenship looks like, and what they could add to their story to make it better, for lack of better words. And then at the end, I would present my short story and help them kind of figure out, with her comments, this is what I should do, and with what she's shown me. So it kind of provides an example of, this is what you did, and I would not want to give them my short story before they wrote theirs, because I would want to see what they could do before presenting and modeling what I would do. So there's that. And then for lesson 3, this is our I Pledge Allegiance book, which is our realistic fiction or fiction book. The objectives in this one is exemplify characteristics about good citizenship, explain why it's important for citizens to participate in their community, ask and answer such questions as who, what, when, where, why, and how. Same central focus. The central literacy for this central literacy focus is answering and asking who, what, when, where, why, and how questions that pertain to the text. We will go over these vocabulary words and add them to our word wall. These vocabulary words are the words that are in the I Pledge Allegiance book. The key learning task in this that I will include in the lesson overview are drawing to respond to reading, which is a strategy that works, strategy, and that is on page 154, and that is draw a picture that helps you understand the book. The next activity in this lesson is Think, Pair, Share. They will create who, what, when, where, why, and how sticky note questions that relate to the questions, that relate to the text. And each question gets a sticky note. Then they will pair up and answer the sticky note questions together. And then after they've done this, they'll take their sticky notes and post them. If they have to ask questions, they'll post those questions under ask, and so on and so forth. There will be a chart that has different sections for each type of question. This will help the students understand the key details of the text. And I will go over that chart with them, and we will discuss their answers and their questions and make sure that they know from the text what they could use to support that. And then their exit ticket would be to answer 3 things I learned from today's lesson, 2 questions I have, 1 thing I didn't understand, and what I found most interesting from today's lesson. And I will provide feedback to them from the chart, and if there's anything that would need to be provided feedback through the exit ticket, I would do that then as well. I hope you enjoyed learning about my lessons. These are things that I really hope would be good incorporated into a classroom, and yeah, I hope I did a great job of explaining, and if you have any questions, please let me know.